moving on in relation to your work, the next logical place to go would be up Albert Street into the Roma Street Parklands. Because you've got some amazing, you did a series of amazing work in there, and the one that I thought I had copied down from your works was the actual plaque.
That little, yeah, it was very much an afterthought, just before the place was about to be, it was supposed to be finished, and then it said, oh, we'd like you to make a plaque, please. So it was very quickly, what can you do with what you've got, sort of thing. So I had that piece of stone and carved it almost over the weekend and dashed in with it.
And then they put the plaque on it. Well, that's an interesting story. The other piece that's sitting in the Roma Street Parklands, which I really do like, and as you'll see by some of these photos, is also well liked by the locals.
Are you speaking about
the water dragons?
The water dragons, yes. The Mogul
is the Brisbane scene. And I know that has a very interesting story. It also has a very important role in Brisbane's convention history, because that documents the largest convention that we've actually held.
International Rotary Convention, yes. And the planting, which was arranged around the back, represented each of the continents.
Ah, that's right.
So I think was with them ranging from the arid regions through into very different subtropical regions of the world and the grasslands and whatever, to find one plant that would represent all of those within, a length of 20 feet for an old-fashioned measurement. Half a dozen metres, yes. And again, to think of something quite quickly, but I necessarily don't like these great big signs sticking up everywhere like teeth, snaggly teeth. No. Anyway, but this particular side.
So the signs are they're telling the story of the trees.
Of plants, yes.
Well, you think they would be able to put them down on the ground? I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's all somewhere nicely to one side. I know the first grass trees that were planted didn't live very long, and they're magnificent specimens planted. But I think it was too wet, so quite a bit of underground work had to go and the lawn replaced to try and create an end to that garden that would be more appropriate for grass trees. But there are two sides to that memorial. One is, of course, the city of Brisbane, and on the other side is Largs in Scotland. Do you know the symbolism of the whole thing? I
think Laurie Smith has told me previously, when you say the symbolism, is the left and the right, or the front and the back, the symbolism?
No,
left and the right?
On the right-hand side is the city of Brisbane with the constellations which designate the northern and the southern hemispheres. I have on each side, so the Southern Cross for Queensland and Ursa Major for the northern hemisphere, for Largs in Scotland, that is our sister city. And thinking of their national floral emblems, or state floral emblems, Cooktown Orchid for us, and then the Scotch thistle for Largs, and then there was a linear effect on both of them. One of them won for Queensland. I think I've done the railway lines coming in across the bottom. It's a while since I've thought about what I did. Railway lines coming through and intersecting and going off, because it was a big railway yard there for many, many years. And but on the other side are the threads of the Largs tartan, the weaving of the tartan. work on, and then flagstones for Brisbane, which suggests that the leaves are not really petals of the poinsettia plant, which is our floral emblem. Why did they give us an exotic for Brisbane? It should be something unique to Brisbane.
Well, yes, the slowly but surely.
Out of my hands, we need to be proud of our own nation and our own flora. Now,
that particular location is also then home for the World Expo 88 sculpture called Continoius Division.
It's a bit good for the car park, I reckon.
Well, yes, there's a story behind that, which
it's beautiful. I really like it. It's three-dimensional and nice movement to it.
Well, it's also made of core 10 steel, so it rusts to a certain extent and then stops. I do think it probably needs a little bit of TLC, because I don't think it's quite weathering the way that I understand that it's meant to. But some of the, it's just amazingly precision built.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. And what I love when I visit there is that the kids, parents love taking the photos of the kids next to it. So in years to come, they're going to be, you know, these 60-odd-year-olds will be showing their grandkids the photos of the sculpture, you know, them standing in front of it, with the photos being taken by their parents. So it is just a stunning piece there.
You've got that little tree right in front of it there. However, probably there are other aspects.
Well, it actually was in the process of driving out of the car park, and I saw these people there taking photos, and so I quickly stopped the car, got the camera out, and took the photo. I did, but I didn't quite get them, unfortunately. But yes, I should have got out the chainsaw and chopped that down, shouldn't I? But it is quite an amazing piece, that Continoius Division.
Yeah, it's a beautiful line. And to me, that is a modern piece that works well. Your eye is drawn around through the movement and swirling up and over and about. Many others, among those that you've shown me this morning, I find them not what I'd call sculptural at all.
And
there's, you know, there needs to be movement and line and balance.
That one certainly
and all
does.
those. I know I'm old-fashioned, but I think that will stand the test of time, that piece.
Hopefully.
As well as the gestation that you showed me earlier today.
Yes. Hopefully, I can convince the Lord Mayor that needs to be relocated into a more of a publicly prominent location, because it is a dead set waste. And politics is a brutal game, and Sally Ann had placed it at the top end of the then Albert Parklands, where it was very prominent, very visible from Wickham Street, Wickham Terrace and Albert Street. And then when the Roma Street Parklands was done, it was relocated at the then Lord Mayor's, Jim Sawley's, request into the car park, to give the car park an address. And I'm thinking, nasty.
Too good for that.
It is too good for that. So, on our journey on the Rhyl Hinwood Art Trail, we will now then move out to